Dozens of bodies being buried in a mass grave in Gaza. The bodies were taken from northern Gaza by Israel and eventually returned, but they were held for so long some have decomposed beyond recognition.
It said there are 80 bodies, but we couldn't count them because of the smell and for fear of spreading diseases in the neighbourhood.
In November, another 110 bodies were returned by Israel, also decomposed. According to the Geneva Convention, bodies should be returned unspoiled.
Even if we heard the claim by Israel that it collected his bodies to check if they were bodies of hostages, but the way that they were returned and the way that they were taken obviously shows a clear violations of the Geneva Convention.
Corpses in a mass grave outside of Kamal Adwan Hospital were damaged by Israeli bulldozers. And bodies that have been dead much longer have also been desecrated. This graveyard in Jabalia in northern Gaza was crushed during Israel's ground offensive.
They are holy sites and they should be protected. Human rights law sets clear obligations to protect these sites, and what we have been seeing is the complete opposite.
But this isn't a new phenomenon.
It's certainly a long-standing pattern, the deliberate desecration of cemeteries. And we saw this on an almost systematic pattern after 1948, where hundreds of Palestinian villages, including their cemeteries, were simply razed to the ground.
In 2010, Mamilla Cemetery in Jerusalem, which is dated back to the 11th century, was dug up and replaced with a convention centre called the Museum of Tolerance.
Another one that is specific to Israel's dealings with the Palestinians since 1967. And this includes, for example, refusing to surrender the bodies of Palestinian guerrillas.
Over the following decades, many of these fighters were buried in a graveyard in Israel, kept off limits to the public. It's known as the Cemetery of Numbers, as people are marked with nothing but a number. As more dead bodies pile up in Gaza, without the implementation of international law, there will be more unmarked graves. Imogen, Kimber, Al Jazeera.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.